Hey everybody, welcome to yet another, once again, Toonkind at 12 FPS. I'm Uni, I'm playing Xan, the wizard, and I'm joined by my wonderful and very cool friend,
Why, hello, I am Fable, and today I am playing Antler.
who is currently a sorcerer, I guess.
Yeah,
He's sampling the entire magic spectrum, and I love it.
yeah. AKA Fable's indecisive about what magic user I wanted to play. And so I was just like, you know what? You're a sorcerer now. And he's just like, okay, I guess I am a sorcerer now.
Sometimes that's how it go.
Yep.
Um, So this takes place in the wake of the Dream Within a Dream arc. So if you haven't listened to that, you might be a little bit lost. But
Should probably
important
listen
thing
to it.
is, yeah, um, the important thing is stuff happened, and both of these guys have some things to think about.
Mm-hmm.
um, maybe some things to discuss,
Yeah.
and that's why we're here.
Hee
Um,
hee.
So it has been a couple of days since then. It's right now wee hours of the morning, a couple days hence. Antler, I'm pretty sure you slept for at least a solid 12 hours
Oh,
afterwards.
oh, absolutely. Like a solid 12 hours, and then maybe the next 24 hours after were spent kind of uh, consciously recollecting himself because you don't just walk away from being asleep in an ice coffin for over a week with a mind flayer trying to eat your brain. You don't just walk away from
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
unfortunately.
But now that a couple days have passed since then, Antler, what are you doing up this early in the morning?
Well, as I said, he's been out for a week, and one does not go a week and one does not go a week in an ice coffin without paperwork and yeah, paperwork stacking up, especially when you are the mayor of the town just down the road. So Antler is currently at his desk, catching up on a lot of important paperwork, as well as figuring out meetings and such that Ruby Red was so kind as to reschedule for him during his time on ice. He's busy. He's a busy fellow.
Yeah, no vacation time.
None.
Um, all right. So you're probably going through the paperwork. It's probably yeah, like it is like pre-dawn, I would say at this point.
Yeah, it's
Um,
still
I don't
it's still pretty dark. He gets up.
yeah.
He gets up early. He is actually a fellow with a decent sleep schedule when it's not getting fucked up by mind flayers.
True rarity.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but you will I guess first things first. Antler, roll a perception check.
Okay. Oh, I'm starting with perception check. Okay. What could possibly go wrong? What's my perception? There it is. That's a nat
Okay.
20.
Nat 20.
He
Cool.
sees
You
all.
you 1,000% hear the door opening to the room behind you.
He probably doesn't turn his head probably doesn't turn his head just yet. He actually just his ears swivel in the direction of the sound, and as he's doing paperwork and blah, sorry, my brain went elsewhere. I heard a noise. His ears turned first, and then he will look over his shoulder to see who it is.
It is Xan Adieu, um, who is sort of hovering by the door watching. His expression difficult to read.
Should I roll
And
insight?
sure.
All right, I will roll insight then. No, but I'm gonna eat out of the fridge.
Okay.
I'm also recording.
I know.
Everyone say hello to my father. He's just gotten home from work.
Hello, sir.
There's
Hey.
there's also 24 insight.
It's, okay. Antler getting those high rolls.
Yeah, for now.
Um, for now, off the bat, you can tell Xan is looking to Antler with. He seems conflicted. Like he's trying in this moment to sort of just, I guess, study you, in a way. And as you turn and look, he straightens up a little bit. Good morning.
Morning. Antler will probably place his, with that insight and when he goes without saying there's going to be a talk, so he just goes ahead and places his feather pen in its inkwell before turning to face Xan.
Can I have the annuals? Can I have the annuals?
I don't know if like between everything that happened and also Antler's damaged sleep schedule, if they've really gotten to like see each other since everything happened. Um, then he will step in a little further into the room, but not especially close. And go, how are you feeling?
Better, I think.
Good.
And yourself?
Um, I'm doing well. Uh, thank you for letting Blink and I recuperate here for a time.
Seemed seemed only fair considering. I
Well,
Oh, you first.
you, when last we met, I imparted a warning upon you. You may recall.
I,
Um,
yes, I do recall. Yes.
while at the time I said it didn't matter, and it continues to not. You asked who it was about, and I imagine you've put together. I learned about how you treated Blink when he last visited here.
Hmm. I've been yes, as you bring him up, I have been meaning to speak with him.
Yes, I told him he didn't need to come. I know he is still having difficulty being around you after how you treated him before.
Uh,
But he decided to help you because he cares very much about Ruby. So I think I think it's worth you knowing that that's the sort of person he is.
uh, Antler has, as you've been talking, he's been looking at you, but specifically when you got to the part of how he treated Blink, you notice that his ears tilt down slightly.
Hmm.
Yes, I am more than aware that I have not. My last interactions with Mr. Lightly have not been good ones, and I will need to be taking steps to apologize for that.
Yes, you will.
Don't suppose you know how to keep him in a room for more than a few seconds, though. He seems to think of some reason to leave anytime I enter a room.
Have you tried asking him?
Antler slowly looks away.
I I don't I don't think there's any way to coerce him into staying still if you truly want to apologize. The best you can do is speak directly with him.
Well, I will. I will make the attempt. I.
See that you do.
And he just nods. But then he looks back at you, Xan, and he's looking. Now he's the one kind of studying you for a moment.
Should I do the insight check?
Uh, yeah, you can.
All right. That's good. 14.
Yeah, 14's not bad. Yeah, he's just taking a moment to study you a moment. It easy to say that there's definitely thoughts going on in that head of his, and things he wants to say but is not certain how to bring them up, is what it seems.
You have. I can only imagine what these last few weeks have been like for you. Um, I'm sure you've been through a lot.
As have you. At that, he reaches behind him and pulls out a little black book, and puts on the table, and slides into view for Xan to. I don't know where how close Xan is, but uh, he just puts it down in a way for Xan to walk over and look at it if he wants to.
They will hesitate before moving closer to look at it.
It won't bite, Mr. Adieu, but it might be easier if you read it a moment.
He picks it up and
As you flip through it, the first couple pages of their pictures, and it shows the Antlered King, Antler, uh, walking through his mindscape that you saw, walking through the snowy forest filled with domes of memories, uh, and him making his way to the castle, to the mind flayer, freezing himself in a dome, and freezing the mind flayer, uh, basically showing you what his ventures through the mindscape was before you and the others had found him. Uh,
Mm.
but that is not where the book ends. You flip to the next page, and then it's you, Ruby, Duster, and Umi, and Blink. It's all of you in that hallway that you were in when you first came into the mindscape. And if you keep going, it shows the other people. It shows the all of your mindscapes that you had to go in to get memories. All the mindscapes except one. I think you can deduce which pages are left blank.
Mm. Xan, he just sort of raises an eyebrow and says, "Well, I see you tried to keep tabs on everything."
I orig- I originally picked this up out of curiosity, but found a use for it when the doctor said I must be put under into the coffin. I
Like,
am.
Xan is.
Hmm?
I'm just gonna say, like, Xan is not going to say anything about the blank pages unless Antler asks.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, Antler. I will not lie to you, Mr. Adieu. I do have my questions, especially considering. And he gestures towards the book. However, you are more within your right to your secrets.
I. My mental defenses are particularly um, strong.
I can see that.
To be honest, it is to the point where I was not even sure if I would successfully be able to go in and help you. Um, and I got a lot of feedback on what a bad idea it was.
Feedback. From who? No, no. And Antler actually raises a hand. I will. I
Zan
will.
actually, like, he has a sort of smirk on his face right now.
Man, I kind of want to make Antler roll something, but I don't know what.
I mean, depends on what he's trying to figure out.
I think. I didn't think you'd say that. Antler was more than willing to actually just let this go, but then you said feedback, and that implies that someone else is involved. And while he doesn't think of Xan as someone to be. He doesn't suspect Xan of anything, but if there's a second party that has knowledge of things, he would like to know at least who. So I guess now he's just looking back at his interactions with Xan that could provide insight, I guess.
Um, I guess if you want, roll a history check.
Yeah, I'll roll history. It's
Oh
25.
man,
It's a 25.
25. That's pretty good.
Oh, jeez.
Um, I will say, like, Kalashtar are not a especially well-known race. Like, it's not impossible he would have heard of them, but I'd say it's
I think it would. I think with how old that Antler is, for how long he's been around, I feel like it's not impossible for him to know about them.
hmm I think that there are enough different ways for people to have, psychic tag-alongs that you can definitely put together that there's something like that going on, even if he doesn't know the exact specifics of it.
All right, all right. I think Antler. Think Zan, you see Antler kind of his ears are twitching back and forth thinking, as he's thinking, recollecting, and putting some pieces together that he can. But eventually, he just comes to an. He just nods to himself. Uh, hmm. You are a very strange man, Mr. Adieu.
I try.
Hmm. But I will not ask for what you are not willing to share. Despite what you now know of me, which I would ask that you not share with others.
I appreciate your discretion, and I know that it can't feel good to have people see parts of yourself that you do not readily share.
It's an unfortunate case of it is something that could not be helped given the situation, but no, it is not ideal for the thing for you all to have seen the things you have.
I will say this.
Mm.
It's one thing to read about someone's past in history books and legends. It is another to see it firsthand.
Indeed.
That that creature, it was trying to show us that you were not worth saving. And to have something like that inside you and eating away at you is not something I would wish on anyone. And I am glad we were able to find another way, but I confess with those sights and those images, it could certainly have done a lot worse to find a victim.
Mm.
I I, I don't see that same cruelty in you now. But I admit I don't know you very well. And you have said to me several times that you want that back.
his ears flick down again. And he actually glances away. I
Not just. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I am. And he actually looks towards the door. Did Xan leave it open?
Um,
Or did he close it?
I think he would have closed it behind him.
Okay, good. He sees that. Good. He sees that it's closed before he continues. I am not so certain anymore. And Antler actually, he's been sitting this whole time. He stands up now, to so that you're now looking eye to eye. You do not strike me as a man that would use my words against me. So I am. I imagine that you are more than, for what you have seen, from what you truly understand of the things I have done. I imagine you are much more concerned now about my goals. And I will not ask you to believe me, because frankly I'm a man who people should not trust. I have said this. But if I am to still go forward with becoming king again, I do not believe I can be the king I once was.
No, I don't think you could. I don't know how you wound up with this band of people inside your home with you.
Quite frankly, neither do I. Perhaps luck or chance.
Well, however they wound up here, the fact is they clearly care about you very much. To have gone through so much to try it and protect you. And I don't think it's possible for you to regain what you had in the past while still taking care of them in turn. But then again, it seemed you didn't have people like that who cared about you before.
No,
So what?
I did not. Though that hardly seems an excuse.
No, it doesn't. But I hope having good people around you has taught you something.
He seems to just be thinking now. His gaze has slowly gone towards the door again.
was all I really wanted to say to you. I'm sorry to have interrupted you.
No, it is. It is fine. May I ask you one thing?
He sort of inclines his head in permission.
Why did you use the wand?
Now it's his turn to sort of look away.
I'm aware of what it has done, and I am more than aware that it did cost you to use it. Why did you?
I I wanted to believe that it could do something good for people. It was not originally made to do the awful things that it had. And it's not as though what happened was the fault of the wand. Just the person using it.
Well,
No, I used to quite enjoy using polymorph. Uh, there's something quite freeing in the option to take whatever form one desires for a time.
I know someone who might agree with you on that.
I haven't had the strength to do it for a while, and I wanted. I miss feeling like I'm doing something good with it.
And do you feel you have?
Its name is Athena now, correct?
Yes. They have. The meaning of the name has not been lost to me, but they seem to be taken with it. And actually, looks to he looks over Zan's shoulder, and Zan, if you look by the, because this is the study that used to be a bedroom, but has now been turned into a study on the first floor of the castle, where the cauldron sits, and by the potions table there is a small little dog bed, and sleeping on the dog bed is in fact Athena the kiwi, formerly known as the mind flayer larva.
And Zan looks at Athena and he smiles a little bit and he goes, "Yes, I think. I think it was worthwhile to try."
I would have to agree with you.
All my readings have told me that such creatures are not redeemable. I've never quite liked that notion that there are beings beyond redemption, but there are some things that can't be changed. I quite like that particular text seems to have been proven wrong.
I would say there are many texts that have been proven wrong from what has happened. From my
So they have.
From my experience, people rather enjoy putting things in line with either good or evil, and sometimes a gray area, but in the past I have not cared for either such things.
At this point, like, you could tell Xan is trying to figure out if he should ask something, but ultimately seems to decide not to.
And I think Antler actually doesn't say anything, but he tilts his head slightly to Xan, like in a sort of yes. Doesn't say it, but it's on his face.
It's strange. Born in very different times.
We were.
Yet things seem quite similar in many ways.
I would not know.
Perhaps not.
As it stands, you know more of me than I of you.
Well, you have led a much more engaging life, I imagine.
Perhaps. I'll admit, though, you have me a bit curious now about yours.
Well,
Tell
we
me,
shall see.
tell me, Mr. Adieu, have you had a chance to walk around Little Corner?
Briefly.
Well, I do have a few things to do for the day, duties and the like. And he turns back to the table to collect a few papers. But as he does this, he says, if you have nothing, if you have no plans for some of the day, perhaps you would be willing to accompany me to town. Could at least put your mind at ease that I am not building any sort of army to take over the continent. In case that was a concern.
He sort of raises an eyebrow. Then you see like a brief expression pass over his face, and before he sort of
Ooh, do I get to make a perception to see what that expression was?
sure.
22.
Oof. Um, you get the brief image of annoyance, but it's not directed at you.
I think I can
Um,
guess.
you could probably guess.
and and you know what? Antler will. He won't. He won't. He won't point it out. He won't. From the
um,
dots that he's put together, he can. He himself can guess, and he'll just leave it at that.
um, and Zan will sort of he will straighten his robe and go, very well. It will be good to familiarize myself.
Hmm. Oh, kitty cat, off my desk, please. Thank you. And I think Antler will go and collect his cloak from a hanger by the door. Put it on, and then he will open the door and wait for Zan.
Hmm. Oh, Zan will he will sort of
Yes,
he takes a moment again to consider the antlered king, neither king nor with antlers at the moment,
mm-hmm.
and he will go out the door with them.
Over the river and through the woods to Little Corner we go. Uh, I want to point out that, sorry, this is something that I want to point out, but probably won't come up in conversation, that the walk from Ruindal to Little Quarter is about half an hour walk. I just want to point that out. Just a nice half hour. It's a little longer, but like not an insane walk to make. You know, unlike
Mm-hmm.
unlike
Mm-hmm.
unlike 2 hour walks. From my house to a town. 2 hours, Uni.
Yeah,
Two
well,
hours.
look, come on. Look,
2 hours.
he likes it. Whatever. It's how he keeps it tight.
I Yeah. You know what? Okay. Antler's also not gonna say anything, but there's definitely after they once they've reached town, Antler does look at Zan for a brief moment. That thought going through his head of just like, yes, this was just a nice quick. This was a nice walk. That was not ungodly 2 hours. 2 hours. I'm not gonna let this. I'm sorry, Uni. I can't in good conscience let this go. Uh, I will not bring it up. And God, we said this took place before dawn, so I imagine actually the sun is in the midst of rising by the time.
Yeah, these old fellows are getting a look at the sunrise together.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's a beautiful sunrise. The town is has. I mean, it's pretty much on not slightly hilly terrain. Either way, it's a very beautiful sunrise that's very easy to see on the walk down. And as they make it to town, people are still early in the morning, but people are slowly getting up and getting ready to work for the day. Zan, you will notice that the people that are up do actually will actually wave toward Antler and give a morning greeting. A few might do double takes because it's their mayor, but without the antlers, and they're mildly confused. But Antler waves it off as they've just shed for the cold weather.
Yeah, Zan probably hasn't said anything, but he does look weird without them.
Uh, you want to roll insight?
Sure.
18.
18.
Antler knows it looks weird. He is aware, but he's not gonna comment on it because he can't do anything about it. This is how it works when you've got antlers. They shed for a little while, then they grow back. This is
Sometimes it really do be like that.
this is the price he pays for having that cool aesthetic for most of the year. He gets a little time without it.
um Sorry to interrupt. Can we pause real quick? My takeout is here and I want to
Oh
grab
yeah,
it.
yeah. That's fine. I gotta refill my water anyway, so I'm good to take a quick break.
Yay, quick break.
We'll be
Woo.
right back. Bye. Well, we are unpaused. We are back
Eat.
in the recording.
Welcome be.
How do we leave off? We're in little corner now. And oh no, I forgot to close my door. Hold on. No.
Ah.
What have I done? Oh no. I've made mistakes. Where? Close. Where? I'm coming back. Okay, I'm back now. Door's closed, so this likely do have noisy noise coming in. But yeah, you are now in little corners. Seems to be again early morning. Not a lot of people out just yet, but I mean, every reaction you see people have to Antler is definitely of the friendly nature. They they know him and seem generally okay with his presence, despite him being a very tall, looming presence most of the time. But as you get further into town, you get to some of the taller building. One building in particular looks like it has been decked out in glitters galore. Glitter ribbons, a lot of decoration on this thing. And as you get closer, Antler's ears start to tilt down more and more the closer you get. And it's not till you get like almost at the doorstep that out from the front door comes a round, very happy looking cat Toon, who just goes, ah, there you are. I was worried sick. Ah, yes, hello, Gartho. It is good to see you. Oh yes. I know you're so happy to see little old me. I hope you don't mind. I may have gone a little ham with the decorations. I was just having a bit of fun. And who's your friend? Hello there. Who's your friend? And already this Katsune goes up to you, Xan, and just takes your hand and starts shaking it. Well, it's a pleasure to meet you. I'm Mayor's secretary here. Here, my name's Garth. Oh, so nice to meet you. Must be from out of town. I know everybody in town, but obviously don't know your face.
And like instead he's like tried to like introduce himself, but Gartho just keeps talking. And he goes, "Yes, pleasure to meet you. The name is Xan."
Shan? Ah, what a pleasure to meet you, Shan. Well, I hope you enjoy our little corner of the world while you're here. But frankly, I can't talk for very long. You, Mister, you have been gone for a very long time. Yes, I know. I have been sick, as it were. Yes, I heard the whole thing. Mind flayers and the whole. Can you imagine that? Mind flayers in our little corner of the world? Why? I can hardly believe it. And Gartho just keeps going on and on and on, much like this. And Antler's kind of just standing there. Seems to just be waiting for it to be done. You can probably hear the ticking of a clock as Gartho just keeps talking and talking and talking. Until eventually Antler's patience runs out. Because this is usually, you have a feeling that this is the game that these two plays, that either Gartho runs out of things to say or Antler loses his patience. But eventually Antler goes, yes, thank you, Gartho. I have a few more errands to run before we get started for the day. I will see you in about an hour. Yes, yes. Oh goodness, don't let me keep you. You two have a wonderful walk. Always enjoy a morning walk, is what I say. Anyways, love you both. Bye. And Garthel will go back into the office, which you now see a sign that says Mayor's office.
Your secretary. Hmm.
Yes, he was formerly the mayor before me. It seemed ideal to have someone who knew the town as an assistant.
Well, he certainly seems enthusiastic.
Yes. Yes, he is. And Antler's just going to keep walking. There's a few stops that Antler has to make to drop off signed paperwork, permissions, and some are just responses to letters that he doesn't have to deliver in person, but he figures he might as well while he's down here. Probably the last place you guys stop by is the guards post, which seems pretty dead at the moment. When you go inside, there's just like a couple who are just ending, who are exchanging from night shift to the day shift people
Mm-hmm.
at this point. But there is one person, because there's one person I want Zan to meet. Uh, you hear her before you see her. You just hear very loud stomping coming from down the hall until a real kind dwarven lady with orange curly hair comes around the corner and very tunishly points at Antler. You. Ah, yes. Hello, Jenka. Hello, Jenka. That's all you got for me. That's all you got for me. Really? At the moment, currently, yes. Oh, yeah. No, yeah, no, that's fine. That's great. Great. What are you doing here? I am dropping off paperwork that needed to be signed a week ago. Apologies for the delay. No, and Jacob looks like she's taking a very long breath. So your place just got attacked by mind flayers, and you're here working. Yes, I'm the mayor. It's my job. You just got attacked by mind flayer. What are you doing? And yet she actually looks at you. She has not asked your name, but she just goes, "What is he doing? Why is he here?"
Well, I was hoping he could fill me in as well.
And Antler just holds up the paperwork that needed his signature. I am paperwork. I am the mayor. It is my job. Yeah, you've said that already. Why? Why are you not taking like a sabbatical? Does the word mind flayer not connect with you? I feel like I'm not able to connect with this guy. Hmm. Nope. Okay. Nope. You're going. Bye bye. Wait, but I still have. Nope. I'll take that. And she plucks the papers out of his hands. I will take those. Gartho is more than capable of returning paperwork. If you need to send more paperwork, frickin' send the mail guy. He has nothing else to do. Okay? No. Goodbye. Go take a break. And then she basically just pushes both of you back out the door and slams it closed. And Antler's kind of just blinking for a moment.
I like her.
I. Hmm. Oddly enough, so do I.
Oh,
Well, it seems I am. Well, it seems I have no work for the day.
no, you have been put on pause for the time being.
So it would seem. I don't. Hmm. And his ear kind of flicks a little bit because he was on the intention of doing work today, but it seems that has been taken from him.
May I ask what the decorations in town are all about?
Oh, uh, this, quite frankly, I'm not entirely sure. This town has quite a few celebrations, festivals, holidays that don't know all of them just yet. That, or it's just Gartho going insane with the glitter again, as I have learned he is prone to do.
Well, since you have been forbidden from working hard, a festival seems as good a use as any for your time.
I and Antler actually kind of, hmm, I've not exactly partaken in festivals before. I would not know what to do.
Zan sort of smiles and goes, "Well, we have another thing in common. But I I would say if you don't know what otherwise to do, well, it does seem a bit irresponsible for the mayor to not know anything about what going to a festival is like. You want to make sure it's satisfactory for, uh, you know,
Antler kind of squints at you a bit, Xan. He knows what you're doing.
I'm just trying to make it more palatable for you. I think you've earned it.
Hmm. Fine. Fine, fine, fine. I will. I will go and see that it is up to standard. For whatever standards festival should be at, is beyond me.
Well, I think the standard is having fun. So, what you must do is do your best to have a little bit of fun if you are indeed capable.
Hmm. Quite right. That is the question, isn't it? I'm not sure my
Perhaps,
not sure my version of fun would agree with everyone else's version of it.
well, it seems a large number of things have changed for you recently. There's no better time to find out.
Hmm. And what of you? Don't suppose you said yourself you've not really done festivals either.
Oh, well, I did go to a fair and a ball, and I have some experience, but not much. But
A ball sounds more interesting than this.
mm,
But perhaps your insight into festivities such as these would be most beneficial if you would be willing to come along.
how kind of you to offer.
And Antler has what you think is maybe the slightest bit of a grin before before his face goes back to its usual neutral stone cold expression that he usually has. Uh, well then, off we go to a festival then. Oh dear.
Oh, please try to contain your excitement. And he's like absolutely grinning at you and just like,
Oh
come on.
yes, my excitement. It is practically brimming. I can barely contain it. Why do I feel like this is going to go horribly?
Come now. You're a Toon. I'm sure you'll find something interesting.
We'll see. And I feel like these two just keep having this bit of back and forth.
They absolutely are just like going back and forth with their cute little banter,
Yeah.
and fucking date.
Neither of them know it, but it's
Nope.
basically that's basically what's happening.
Neither of them are gonna say it. Neither of them are gonna acknowledge that's what it is, but we all know. We know what's up.
We know what's up, but I imagine that Zan probably definitely has to pull Antler along to play some of like the festival games.
Yeah.
But eventually, as the day goes on, it's Antler will allow himself to
You
find
get some ear flickies in there at some point.
you see for some of the games, Zan, you see Antler's ears wiggle a little bit. Few pride.
And well, he absolutely catalogs those moments.
Yep, and while Zan is cataloging those moments with Antler may also be taking notes on Zan as well.
Just, two guys taking notes on what makes each other happy for
For
purely
science.
purely scientific business reasons.
For science, we swear.
Yup. They're just it's just normal things that people do together.
I will say, I think, would they bond over managing to dunk someone at a dunk tank?
Oh man. Um yeah, they probably would go for it.
Good. I mean, I know Antler will. Antler will definitely enjoy fucking.
It's the sort of thing where like in the going up to it and we'll be like, oh, this seems mean, but then if Antler actually succeeds in dunking the person, Santa will be like, oh, that felt good.
Yes, vengeance feels good. And
Oh man.
Antler just has ear wiggles from it. I feel like by the end of it, I don't know how far they go. They're they're not they're two old men, but they're two old men who are also in pretty decent shape. So I
Yeah,
feel like they're
yeah.
able to go for a good amount of time before eventually calling it.
I imagine they like, it's still pretty early in the day. They probably make it to around lunchtime, get some horrible fried food before heading back.
Yeah, yeah. Man, I'm trying to think if we should just end it there, or if there's like should end it on just like one more small note when they get to the cast when they get back to Ruindal. Trying to think.
I think as they head back, Zan will take a moment and just be like, "Well, I hope I hope you're pleased with what you learned."
Oh no, I absolutely hate it. Quite terrible. Would not recommend it to anyone. But as he's walking, you see the just slight grin on his face.
Hmm. Well, I certainly found it quite insightful.
Hmm. I think I have
And
as well.
hmm, It's good to know. You
Hmm.
really are a Toon.
Well, of course. I'd be offended if you thought I was anything else.
They just sort of grins at him and leaves it at that.
Hmm. I think Antler looks at Xan a moment, considering, before, once they're at the doors of the castle, he just goes, "Well, Mr. Adieu, I won't keep you any longer. If there's anything else, I imagine you have other things you wish to do." Goodness, it's actually still quite
Yes.
early in the day. Hmm.
Yes, there is plenty to do.
Hmm.
But do not forget, you are forbidden from work. I catch you pushing yourself at all. I will have to step in.
Is that a threat, Mr. Adieu?
Deadly serious one.
Well then, I best find something non-work related to bide my time.
Mm. At least now you've learned you are capable of having fun.
Ugh, terrible thing to discover, really.
If you say so.
I do, in fact, say so.
They just keep bantering.
Yeah, they just keep, like, it just keeps happening. They just keep going back and forth until I think finally someone probably has to like, I don't know, someone like walks like a staff, like a castle staff, just like has to like, excuse me, I have to get by you to go clean up the hall. And people have to like part and be like, oh yeah, we were we were saying goodbye for the day. I
Oh God.
think Antler will make
And
an excuse to try and get to the to go read in the library for a bit because that's a relaxing, non-work related thing to do.
yeah, totally. Zan will go off to check on Blank, but I feel like we can both imagine as they're heading separate ways, one each of them sort of glances back at the other before heading on.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think that is where we will end it today. Oh, that ended so much softer than I thought it would.
They're
They're very
gay.
gay. They're very gay. They're very gay. And hey, you know what? I have nothing actually to add to that. They're gay. They're gay, Your Honor.
So gay.
And I thought,
Yeah,
man,
I'm glad we were able to have a moment of soft after a somewhat serious start off on the conversation
yeah,
because that conversation did very much need to happen, but
abs.
also
Oh no, yeah, I'm very much glad with how. I mean, I'm very glad with how the serious conversation went.
yeah,
It was long overdue.
yeah. And is in the mode of like, all right, you seem cool, but also you pushed my boy down a pit. Don't.
Antler, fully aware of this, is like, yeah, I should go apologize to him. I don't know how to apologize to people, so we're gonna
Yeah.
see how this goes.
And it's like I want to think you're cool, but also I'm not forgetting that you have been very not cool. So,
Antler,
yeah.
very aware that he has not been cool, and is
The fact that Antler is aware of that and wants to apologize is also a very good sign. So,
Antler
yeah.
still like griping with the fact that Xan wants to think he's cool. Like you want to think he's cool after all the shit that you've seen because of him. Okay.
Most I mean, let's be real. He likes the people that Hitler has brought around him, and he wants them to be justified in it also.
God, I freaking.
He believes in the power of being better for the sake of other people.
Oh, God, I freaking love Xanadu. Good wizard man.
Anyway, thank you for listening, folks, because they gay and they it's conflict and good contrasts and parallels and
Yeah.
it's good. I'm glad
Yeah.
we did
I'm
this.
so glad. I was so excited about this. But yeah, thank y'all for coming by. Hope to see y'all next time. Bye bye.
Bye bye.